In this video, I'm going to be breaking down month one of starting an affiliate website that my goal is to get to $3,500 a month within the first 12 months. Today, I'm going to break down what I did, why I did it, and then some problems that I faced and how you guys can hopefully avoid those problems. What's going on, everyone? My name is Matthew Osborne, and this is the month one update for the affiliate website case study I announced last month. Now, for those of you guys that missed it, my goal is to build an affiliate website from brand new up to 12 months and get it to $3,500 a month in passive income, or relatively passive income, by that 12-month mark. This is a big goal, but I think I can hit it, and I'm going to explain to you guys why while I go through some of the stuff that happened in this very first month. I'm making this case study and doing this on this channel specifically for showing you guys maybe an alternative way of making money. If you guys don't want to do Amazon, or maybe if Amazon is just part of your income strategy, or maybe this just appeals to you more than selling books on Amazon, I want to show you guys a different way of making money online. Affiliate marketing, and marketing specifically, is something that I love to do. It's really why Caleb and I started working together in the very beginning on ScoutIQ and eFlip and the other softwares that we have, because I love marketing and I love doing this type of thing. So I want to talk about something that I really enjoy doing and share it with you guys to hopefully help you guys be able to make money this way as well. Plus, it's been a while since I've started a website like this, specifically focused on affiliate revenue and ad revenue. And so I'm going to kind of dive back into this since I haven't done it for a little while, and hopefully show you guys a reliable way of making consistent income. So let's dive into month one. Granted, I started this on the 15th of last month, and it's the 10th while this video is being recorded, so it's not quite a month, but it's pretty much there. So as you can see right here, here's some key things that happened this month. First, I got the website all set up. This is the basic stuff like putting a theme on the WordPress. I'm using WordPress simply because it's really easy for WordPress to be used by other people. People are very familiar with it. I'm going to be hiring writers and trying to outsource as much of this process as possible. One of the other things I told you guys last video is that my goal for this is not to do it all myself, but I've done it in the past, is to now teach other people how to do it and pay them to do it, to hopefully outsource the majority of this work. So it really is mainly passive income for me and more of an investment at this point. So I personally, though, got the theme set up, I picked a host, I got the domain name I wanted, and I launched the actual website. This is going to take a lot longer than you think it would take. Even though I've built a ton of websites, this always takes longer than you think it will. And if you're brand new to this, it'll take even longer. So if you're starting this and you're hoping to get a ton of traction in month one, just know that it's probably going to take a little longer than you think it will to get this basic stuff like a theme and a website actually pushed before you can even start writing articles for it. So the biggest thing about making income up to $3,500 a month in 12 months is actually writing content and doing it quickly, okay? You can write 10 great articles, but if you leave it at that and leave the website for a year, you're not gonna have enough traction to be making $3,500 a month. Even if those articles are great, it's just not gonna get you the traffic needed and the volume needed to actually make that money most of the time. So the goal is to write a lot more articles. My goal is a lofty one, but I want to try and get to 150 articles in the first year. It doesn't need to necessarily be 150 articles to try and hit that $35 a month mark. I think I could probably do with 80 to 100, but I want to overshoot. That way I can hopefully exceed that goal in case things do not go exactly as planned. But this first month, I'm pretty proud of it. I got 17 articles published on the site, and I have about, 33 more articles being written right now that are on the way that'll be published over the next month or so as they get written. So 10 of these articles, actually there's 9 of these articles. 9 of these articles I wrote myself. I did this because I wrote out I can teach you guys how to do this in another video, but I went through and did a lot of keyword research on what keywords I wanted to target for this niche that I chose. I wanted to do all this research, and then I paid a few different companies to do keyword research for me as well. That way I had these different lists of keywords that I could compare and contrast these different methods. All of them use different methods, including myself, for making these keywords we need to target. That way I can write out articles based on my keywords. I can have this company write out articles based on their keywords, and I can have another company write out articles based on their keywords. And then months down the road, I can compare these articles to each other and see, hey, these articles that were selected this way consistently outperformed these articles. Ones that were written at this length consistently outperformed articles written at this length. And so I can kind of compare these different methods and see, is my method of doing it actually the best, and do my articles actually rank the best and get the best traffic, or is one of these other companies a better method to go with? So I'm kind of comparing and contrasting these things as I begin. But 17 articles were published, 9 of those were published by me, and that's probably the most I'll personally publish on the site, maybe a few more, because like I said, I want this to mainly be passive. 8 articles came from another company, and then I think this actually total is now I'm thinking about it, 19 articles, because 2 came from a third company there. So I think there's 19 articles actually published on this website right now. And then I'll be getting a lot more to the coming months. So 19 articles in the first less than 30 days now. I'm proud of that. I want to pick up that pace as I go along, but I'm really proud of that for a first month, and I'll show you why I think that's so important when starting an affiliate website like this. Nearly 25,000 words written. This was based on that 17 article number, so it comes out to about, I believe, 1,470 words per article as average. So these are not really, really short articles. One thing you need to be aware of when you're posting or creating articles like this is Google wants to give the user the absolute best information possible for their specific search query. So if someone searches the best way to groom a poodle, and you've written a 500-word article on it, but someone else has written a really detailed 1,500-word article on it, who do you think Google's going to rank higher? They're going to rank the one that has more words, so long as it's actually relevant content to what the person's asking, because it's more in-depth and it's going to give more likely the user a complete answer to their question versus your article. So length is not everything, but it does have a lot to do with how rankings are done up to a certain point. If they have great content at 700 words and you have a lot of filler stuff on random topics that's 3,000 words, you'll probably still rank below the 700-word article. But if the content is good, almost always the higher word count article is going to rank above the lower word count article. So that's why most of these average 1,400. I think the longest article written was 3,000 or 4,000 words. And then the shortest ones were about 900 to 1,000 words, and so it kind of made that average right there at about 1,500. So 3 different writing companies, like I said, are being tested. I'm not going to let you guys know yet which writing companies I'm doing, because I don't want you guys to go with these yet until I've had the chance to see if they're actually quality companies that I can trust and actually refer you guys to. I'm happy to tell you guys who I'm using once I decide the final company or the people or the strategy. But for right now, I want to test these so you guys don't go off and waste money if one of these companies does not turn out to do what I think they will, or if one of them is just not up to the quality for the price they're charging. So I will be giving you guys that information in the future, but I want some time to test these out first to tell you guys the actual best one so you don't waste any money. As far as analytics go for this very first month, analytics mean nothing in this month. So 43 users, 85 sessions, 226 page views. If you start a website and you start seeing stuff like this, you might get excited and think you're getting traction already. But the truth is, the majority of these are you looking at your own website, Google's spiders crawling your site to actually index content. Other search engines like Yahoo, Bing are crawling your site to index your content. And you probably have some random bot views as well from different various things. So most of this is not legitimate traffic. So do not take this as a sign of, oh, my website's going to explode because it's month 1 and I should have nothing and I'm already getting 226 page views. That's not it at all. I can almost guarantee you very little of this was actually organic traffic. Now I am tracking all the different articles that I've written and those keywords to see where I'm ranking. And some of them have already started moving up the rankings, which is great to see, but I'm not going to get tons of traffic from those articles yet. Okay, and then lastly, I did launch ads with a company called Ezoic. This is normally something I do later because my goal is the first 2 months is to focus specifically on writing content and writing great content, and a lot of it. Monetizing the website is going to be something that I focus on in month 3 and 4, because first I want to get all that content out there. I'll explain why in a minute, but get it all out there first. I won't be getting much traffic, so ads won't play a big role. Affiliate revenue is not going to play a big role. I will not be making much money at anything these first 2 months. So instead of distracting from the thing that will make money, writing more content, I don't want to focus all my time on putting in affiliate links. So these articles are just being written, and I'm going to go back through later and actually add the relevant affiliate links to these articles and actually work on ads more. The reason why I put on ads at the very first month was because this is a new company I have not tested out before. They should have a higher cost per million. So basically cost per milli is what it is. So cost per 1,000 views. That's how ads are done on a website. For every 1,000 views, you earn whatever the dollar sum is. It changes by your niche and how big your website is and stuff like that. But Ezoic has a lot better monetary advantage, I should say, than something like Google AdSense. On 1,000 views, Google AdSense might give you $1 or $2. If you have the right niche and stuff like that with Ezoic, you can earn $10 to $14 per 1,000 views, or more than that. And so it's a little more ad revenue for those views coming in. But the reason I put it on this early is because they have machine learning attached to this, and so I wanted to give their machine learning the best chance at actually figuring out who the visitors are coming to the site and then tailoring those ads to those visitors, so that way 8 months down the road, 10 months down the road, when I actually have a lot of traffic to this website, these ads can be performing a lot better and making more money than if I'd started putting them on the site later. Now there was an issue with this, which is one reason why maybe this was just a distraction from actually writing more content, which I'll show you in a second. So here are the problems that I've experienced in month 1. You're always going to have problems. No matter how many times you've done this, you will run into issues. First one was a website crash. So basically, like I said, built a lot of websites. I went to the website one morning to try and publish an article, and it wouldn't even load up. It wouldn't load up for my host either. They thought it was due to a plugin issue or a theme issue. We finally got it partly loading. I deactivated all our plugins. It still was not working well. Long story short, I figured out it had to do with the code for the ad company. It was blocking traffic because I thought it was a bot, and so it would not let anyone onto the website. And so I had to adjust things. I might even switch hosts because of this. But finally I had that figured out, and it wasted the morning when I was supposed to be posting an article, trying to fix this random crash that happened, and so I got behind on what article I'd wanted to write that morning. Setting up website analytics, or not website analytics, but setting up a website just takes a long time. Whether it be your first time or your 10th time, it's always going to take longer than you expect, like I said above. So always expect this process to take longer. I'm really surprised that I was able to get 17 articles published or 19 articles published this very first month, because normally you're going to run into a lot of issues and you're probably going to get 1, 2, or 3 articles posted in the first month, and that's okay. It just takes time to do it. And then a few other questions that I think no matter how many times again you do this, you're still going to have, is that I'm questioning the niche that I chose. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this talk, the niche is specifically what my website is focusing on. So in order for a website to be successful, you cannot just have a very broad topic, because those broad topics are going to be competing with a lot of other big companies. You want to niche down to something very specific. That way you have more of a chance of ranking for those articles, because fewer people are writing about them, but people that are searching those things are still going to buy products. So for instance, you could write a website about owning a pet, which it's a pretty big audience, but it's not enormous, but it is a big audience to start with. Just owning a pet is a very broad category. You could say owning a dog. You could be a dog owner's website and talk about dogs, but even then it's still broad. A more niched website might be caring for a poodle specifically. People that are searching specifically for poodles, they have a poodle, they want to know poodle care. They don't want some general dog website. There's going to be a lot fewer people writing about poodles, but there's still going to be people searching about that. Now, you want to go smaller because you can get a larger percentage of that traffic, but you also don't want to go too small. If I wrote an entire website about grooming poodles and poodle grooming tips, sure, I could probably write a decent amount of articles on that. I don't know, I've never groomed a poodle, but I'm assuming there's a decent amount of things you could write about that. But there's probably not enough traffic to actually make the website grow at a significant pace and also make enough money. So you'd probably want to expand into something more like just generally owning a poodle or generally owning dogs. Something a little bit broader. So you have to balance this with not going too big and not going too small. I'm never going to start a website on general health and fitness, because there's millions of websites that do that, and many of them are way bigger than I'll ever hope to be. And so instead of me writing an article about why you should eat keto when there's 1.7 million results on Google from huge websites, I'm going to pick something very, very small if I wanted to go to the health and fitness thing, and talk about something very small and specific that few other companies are writing about. So I always have this question circling back in mind: is the niche that I chose good? Is it too big? Is it too small? I think this one I chose will be good, but there's a chance it's going to be a little too small. And of course, will this actually work? again, no matter how many times you do this, even with Amazon and starting an Amazon business, if you're putting in work up front and not seeing results until later on, you're always going to have that question circulating in the back of your mind. Is this going to work? Am I just wasting my time? Am I just wasting my money? Because you don't see the results yet. And this is the hard part, because the very first month is probably going to be pretty easy because you'll be excited. It'll be something new. But months 2 to 8 are going to be ones where you want to quit because you're putting in all this work, you're putting in this money potentially, and you're seeing nothing for it. And so this question of will it work is always going to be circulating in the back of your mind, whether it be starting an Amazon business or starting an affiliate website. That question, when you have delayed gratification, is always going to be there, and it's normal, it's natural, and you just have to work through that to get to that point. That's why most people can do this, but they don't, because they can't do that delayed gratification. So if you can learn to do that, that's how you win doing this type of business. But the biggest reason that I'm curious of, will it actually work, is because of the timing spike. So this is where websites are different from a lot of other things. If you start an Amazon business and you start listing books consistently over and over again, you're probably going to see fairly consistent growth in your business, so long as the books are similar, your average sale price is similar. If you consistently keep listing the same amount of books, as time goes on, you'll start selling more and more of those books as a percentage, and your growth will be pretty linear. This is not at all how it works with websites in Google. Google has something people refer to as the sandbox, where they stick new websites until they have a chance to build trust with them and to actually know they're legitimate and they want to be around for the long haul, and then they start giving them traffic. They take a long time to start testing out these websites to make sure they're legitimate, to make sure they want to send traffic to it and get a feel for what the website's about before they actually start sending traffic to it. So you start a website down here, you keep posting articles over and over and over and over again, and normally it's around the 8-month mark, 6 to 8 to 10-month mark, where those articles really start taking traction and start getting the results they'll end up getting from Google. So I write one article over here about poodle grooming tips. That's not the niche I chose, by the way, but poodle grooming tips. Nothing's going to happen in this article for a while, then all of a sudden around 6 months it's going to start growing and then doubling and doubling again, because Google's finally trusted this website. It sees this article, then this article is going to finally land where it's going to rank for whatever keyword I targeted, whether it be the first spot or the second spot, and then the article is going to flatten out and have a consistent traffic for years to come, most likely, until the article either gets irrelevant or someone writes a better article. And so it's going to kind of level out, but it does not look like this consistent curve right here. So this is why I wanted to post so many articles in the first 2 months of this website, because if I post only 2 articles here, then around month 8, only 2 articles are really going to start seeing traffic, and it'll be a few months after that that these other articles I wrote will start seeing traffic. But if I can dump 60 articles in the first 2 months, I'm going to have a huge surge in traffic around 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. That'll really help propel me into actually getting my goal of $3,500 a month. So timing the spike is what I'm talking about, where you can see right here, let's say I make $100 right here. The next month I would make $200. Then let's say it doubles again, or a little more than that, $600. Then it's maybe $1,200. It goes up very, very quickly. So if I misjudge this, let's say I did really, really poorly with the article selection I did in these first 2 months. I didn't pick great keywords. I didn't pick a great niche. I am going to get around here, and maybe these articles take longer than I thought to take off. And so month 8, nothing happens. Month 10, I start getting a spike, and then I end up hitting that $3,500 a month mark, but in month 15 or month 16 instead of month 12. So if I don't time this perfectly, and I don't make the correct articles back over here, or they take longer to rank than I thought they would, by month 12, I might be only $800 a month, but then month 13, I might be $1,600, and so on and so on. You see how it goes from there. So you have to remember this spike is exponential, not linear, when you're making articles and content for Google. So write more, front load the content, and then let it grow over time, because I'm really trying to get as much done here so it can peak as quickly as possible, so I have a much better shot at getting that $3,500 a month from this new website. So that is pretty much what I have done in the first month of doing this website. If you guys have specific questions, I know this was not a huge tutorial on anything, it was more so just a general overview of what I've done. Let me know, I'd be happy to answer those. I'm not going to give away the website's domain or the niche I'm choosing right now. I'll probably do that at the end of this year, but I don't want that to artificially influence the results of this. I don't want traffic going there from this YouTube channel. I don't want people negatively affecting the website due to this YouTube channel for some reason. And so I want to leave this website completely separate where you guys do not know which website it is, so we can actually see the normal organic growth this website will have, and there's nothing messing with that. And there's also not people trying to copy exactly what I'm doing this entire time, because that'll also affect the results of this case study. So I will eventually share what this website is, but I'm not going to share it quite yet. And in addition, like I said, different things like Ezoic, the ad platform I'm using, and the writing teams I'm using, I will share those, but I want to have a chance to test those out and make sure they're legitimate and they're worth recommending to you guys before I let you know exactly what I'm doing there. But my goal for month 2 is to continue to focus on content and try and get as many articles out as possible for the right keywords. And then month 3 and 4, I'll actually go into those articles and start putting in affiliate links to those products and really working on optimizing ads for when that traffic starts coming 8 months, 9 months, 10 months down the road. Lastly, I want to talk about one more thing. For those of you that are new to doing websites and stuff like this that you might not know, is websites are really treated like an asset so long as you build them properly. So let's say, for example, I build this website up. First year, I get to $3,500 a month. And let's say I stop doing stuff with it right then. It'll still probably grow over the next year. So let's say it's $3,500 a month for year 1. If I just left that and let it grow, because articles that I wrote 6 months down the road and 7 months down the road will start being ranked then, so it'll still keep growing. Let's say I expect $5,000 a month from this website by the end of year 2. So that means I would have made a decent amount of money from this website in the first year and the second year, having this much coming in every single month. But as long as growth is consistent, even if it's flat, it doesn't have to be going up. Even if growth is flat, as long as it's consistent, people are willing to pay large multiples to buy websites like this from you. So as long as I'm not seeing giant spikes each month where I make nothing, then I make $8,000, then I make $500, as long as it's consistent, that's what people are looking for. You can sell this like you would any other business. So let's say I get to the end of 2 years, it's making $5,000 a month, but I want to focus on doing something else. I want to cash out from this website. Common sales price for these type of websites is between 25 to 40 times the monthly run rate. So for this, let's say I do really well. It's very consistent. It's a niche that people don't think is going to go away very soon. It's built well. It's very possible to find someone willing to pay 35 times. Right now, that's actually about the going rate, 35 times what I've seen more often than not. So 35 times 5,000 is $175,000 or more this website could sell for. And so it might seem like a lot of work right now, but really if I take these first 6 months, I write 150 articles, I leave those there and don't touch it anymore, I'm pretty confident I'll be at that $3,500 a month by the end of at least the first 14 months, 15 months. And by the end of year 2, I can pretty confidently say it'll be around $5,000 mark a month. And then if I want to, I can keep it going and see how long the website lasts. Maybe I can keep building and add articles if I want to spend more time on it. Or I have the option of treating it like an asset and selling it, making that money and either using it to invest in something else or to start a new website or whatever I want to do with that money. You have the option of cashing out. So this is not like an Amazon business in the sense where you build it up, but if you stop putting in inventory, your sales stop. And no one will most likely buy your Amazon business for the amount of money you're making every month because you have to keep putting in that work, unlike a website like this where it's relatively passive after you put in the work up front. So if you guys decide to build a website like this, remember that you're building an asset. It's going to take some time, but it can very much be worth the effort you put in if you do it properly. Let me know what questions you have down below. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.